Hey, Johnny Good from johnnygood.com here. Thank you for tuning in to day 8 of my screencasting challenge. Today I'm looking at using a doubler on a vocal or on a double track vocal, particularly when you haven't been supplied with say backing harmonies to enhance a chorus or give some vocals some more push. So let's just have a look here at a track that I've been working on. This is going into the last chorus, and here's our main vocal.
If it breaks down to function better, we must look out.
Okay, on there just my typical processing and some compressor. I've also sent that to a track called Vox Crush, which I've just put a ton of compression on. So I've essentially sort of dual compressed it. Now I've also been supplied with a performed double track, so these tracks together sound like this.
If it breaks down to function better, we must look out.
So certainly having it double tracked adds some more power and weight to the vocal, but I'm not feeling it's doing enough going into this last part of the chorus. So I'm for this going to use Izotope Nectar, the first one, and inside Izotope Nectar there is a vocal doubler just here. I really like this plugin. I'm sure there's a bunch of other doublers specifically more for vocals available. I do have another one called Clone Ensemble, which is pretty cheap. I think that's under £10, and that's for, you can do that from anything from 2 voices to 32 voices. I think it takes a bit more tweaking, I'd say, than this one in Nectar, but it's also a really cool plugin and it's not very expensive and it does the job. So in Izotope you can have up to 4 extra voices added. You can either have them set to none, which will just give you 4 or 2 of the same exactly the same signal, but you'll use them to create more width, or you can choose an octave above or an octave below. This isn't a vocal harmonizer, this is a doubler, but it gives you the option of sending the double an octave lower or an octave higher. So the higher one tends to simulate more of a female vocal, or a chipmunk sometimes. And the low one, well, that's a trick that's used a lot, and I do it, and I usually perform it, to be honest. But it also comes in really handy if you haven't got a low octave performance of the vocal, just to get some more weight. And I find it tends to really pin a vocal down as well. So there are your 3 options. I went for 2 high and 2 low. The low ones tend to cut through the mix quite a lot more than the high ones. So if you look just up here, you can see where I've placed them. These are like X and Y graphs. So the pan is featured here. So I've put the low ones pretty wide, and the high ones panned not quite so wide, a bit closer to the vocal, and here along the side of the gain. So you can see these are lower, these low ones. And there's the original double vocal, the original vocal on the track, which I've set somewhere between the 2 and still going down the middle. Below you have, on the same sort of X and Y graph, you have a pitch, which obviously wouldn't want to pull that out because it's going to make them more and more out of tune. That can be handy if you're finding they're all starting to phase together. And delay, so the further these go back, the further they are delayed from your original vocal. Okay, you also have a little EQ up here as well, so I've just dipped some of the low end, which I don't need, and just given it a high end shelf. Okay, so that's what I've done. You also see I've added EQ also, and a compressor and a DSO and a little bit of reverb. Okay, so with it on, let's just remind ourselves of what we had with it off.
If it breaks down to function better, we must look out.
Okay, and here's with the doubling on.
If it breaks down to function better, we must look out.
Now that's fine when you listen back to it. It was your ears tend to notice the non-human element. But once this is in a mix, I find it's there where it really shines. So let's have a listen to the whole thing in the mix.
If it breaks down to function back to we must look out.
Let's just mute that and have a listen just to the main vocal.
If it breaks down to function back to we must look out for each other. In the meantime we are brothers. So if it breaks down.
So yeah, I think a really useful technique. Sometimes I think it sounds a lot nicer than having a harmony in there. I think on this particular occasion it worked really well in the mix. So particularly if you haven't been sent that harmony track, it saves maybe contacting back to your client or yourself performing a harmony for it. So it's a really neat little trick to just get more out of your vocals, particularly when you're approaching choruses. So I hope that was helpful. That was doubling in Izotope Nectar. As I say, I'm sure there's a bunch of different VSTs out there worth searching for to get yourself a vocal doubler. Thanks for tuning in to Screencasting Day 8. If you found it useful, please subscribe to my channel, check out johnnygood.com, and I'll be back tomorrow with Screencasting Challenge Day 9. Have a good day.